We might have just witnessed a dawn of a new design era, because Figma has released some update that will make you fall in love with the app even more. But instead of watching that 2-hour keynote display, very long and amazing and beautiful, shout out to the Figma team, here is everything Figma released in just like about 10 minutes or so, and I'll share with you my predictions and the future potential problem Figma might run into in the future. So we have 5 major releases, which includes Figma Make, Figma Sites, Grid, Figma Draw, Figma Buzz, and also there's a bonus one which is like the Figma CMS, but it's tied to the Figma site, which will be used together with the Figma site, but we'll get into that later. I want you to stay to the end, as I'll be telling you all you need to know about all of these new features. First, let's start with the Figma Make. So this is a total game changer, and the Figma team has done amazing. This will change your workflow. If you've ever wished like you can go from design to prototype even faster, with Figma Make you can now do it seamlessly. It uses natural language processing, so basically like your type to make, to turn your static designs into interactive prototype. And you can also highlight portions of those designs and tell it to add things, like you can say add a button here that says publish, and it's done. It works really good. I think it's built out of Cloud, so it works really well. It gives you that full experience. The tool keeps your design integrity, and what I really love about this particular feature is it can take all your design props, all the different states you've built in your design, factor that and build that into the prototype, making it actually one of the best things I've really seen online. It's still like a text to making prototype, but this works very well because it's integrated with Figma and it has all those your design constraints linked into it. So over the week we're going to be going deeper into all of these 5 features that were released, so make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of them, because we'll take each of them as a separate video because it is just so much. But the second thing they released was Figma Slide. Now for years designers have wanted to take their Figma designs directly into production. Well, now you can with Figma Slides. You can design and publish responsive website with just a click of a button. This feature allows you just to transform your prototypes into functioning websites all from Figma. So whether you're designing like a simple landing page or a more complex site, Figma site has your back. And if you're kind of worried about responsiveness, well, don't be, because it still makes use of the auto layout, grid, and different breakpoints to ensure that all your designs adapt to all screen size. If you've ever used Framer, you will be very familiar with this interface, because to me they look really the same, which is something we'll discuss through later on in the video. Now, the third thing Figma launched was Grid. If you've ever tried designing a bento box, you would understand the frustrations engineers will face when building that grid. So Figma adding this to their layouts would be mind-blowing and changing and save a lot of time. With Grid, you can finally manage your elements with precision. Either if you wanted to span across multiple cells, fine-tune them by columns, row, dimensions, Figma now gives you complete control. And the best part is it's real time, so you can resize these frames, you can see how the design adapts and just see it right between your eyes. Also very responsive. This is a huge time saver. If you've ever tried building out a table component, you would understand the need for some of these grids, which takes us to the fourth one. Now artists are gonna love this a lot, especially if you do a lot of like artist work in Figma. It is called Figma Draw. Now this update is all about pushing like your visual expression to the next level. You know how Figma struggles a lot with vector size and tool? Well, Figma Draw kind of unlocks a lot of that kind of Photoshop-like possibilities. With Figma Draw, you can add freeform expression with text. You can add textures to your design. It allows you to create and manipulate different shapes, combine them in a way that the shape builder could never do before. You can even add effects like dynamic strokes, noise, texture, plus one of the things I really love is that there is this new text to part functionality, so you don't have to manually start adjusting those texts. It works seamlessly. It's just like, it's all about making your designs feel more alive and dynamic with these new capabilities. You need to try this if you're really into using Figma to do a lot of artistic work, because this would be mind-blowing. But the fifth one, which is the Figma Buzz, wow. Where do we kind of start? So this is, if you've ever worked for an agency or worked with an agency in your design team, whereby the agency manages either the social media assets and your design team works on another one, you know how useful this feature is. Now, this is a brand asset tool that will help your entire team maintain brand consistency across all of the assets. It's plugged to your Figma, So you have your design system asset plugged in, and the agency or whatever is handling your social media, they can also get those assets and work totally in unison. Now, the beauty of Figma Buzz is the ability to generate and edit assets at scale with customizable templates. So if you have like an episode or a podcast, or your company is pushing out like some social media asset, you can create one template, and if you have 200 speakers, it can just bulk upload that with a CSV file and populate each of them, making it really easy to go from designs to marketers, make designers and marketers and social media managers stay on the same place. And also with that, Figma is releasing something called the content seat. This will be coming very soon, but this will be a seat that creative or those managing some of your publications on social media, LinkedIn, will be able to jump in Figma, update content, and also like export assets without stepping into your Figma files, which means like there's faster workflow, faster collaborations, and ultimately there's a consistency between the brand identity, and no matter what you're designing, you have that consistency. Whew. Oh my, it's just amazing, and I'm really hyped, and I can't wait to start diving deep into it, breaking it down, and making amazing videos for you all. So you don't have to spend hours, don't worry, I'll spend the time and make sure I break it down for you. Now, the bonus one I wanted to talk about was the CMS in Figma. If you've ever built a dynamic website, you know that managing content is really important. So Figma is also building a CMS to link it to their sites, and this will help you, build things like your blog, handle multiple information. If you use any CMS, you understand what it is. I've used Figma a lot, and while I was watching the demo, it works almost seamlessly the same way. Like if I was blindfolded, I would think this was probably Figma. But what Figma does is it kind of still connects to your design, and it's easier to use at first hand as opposed to Figma. We'll have another tutorial video for that. If you want to see me test either the Figma site or Figma, let me know in the comments and I'll be able to do that. But you'll be able to update your site content by yourself directly from Figma. No need to touch the code. And it's real time, making it, this is a really huge update for content management, especially if you're managing dynamic different website that changes constantly from time to time. But Figma has said this is coming soon, and I feel it's worth the wait. The rest of them are going to be better, but the CMS is coming soon. I'm sure they just want to perfect it. So now, these are some of my predictions and potential problems I feel Figma might run into. First, I feel Figma is trying to take out all web kind of builders like Wix, Figma, and all of them, because it just makes sense. If you're designing in Figma, instead of you exporting that to another platform to build a website, you can now just do that seamlessly, almost like what the entire like Adobe suite is kind of made out to be. And some of the problems that I feel Figma might run into is now making this so complex and taking away the activity of actually solving problems for designers, and make it more into learning how to use the tools. Like a lot of new designers that are going to designer might find it really complicated, but that is why you have me. I'll make sure I'm always updating you and breaking it down, making it easier for you to focus on the problem solving while I help you use the tool a little bit much better. Now, Figma Config 2025 was amazing, and there are lots of more announcements that will be made. I'll still attend most of the classes and most of the sessions, go into deeper dives to expand on Figma Sites, grid, and all of these objects and all of these updates that were released, so I can understand them better, test them, and start making like assets for every one of you to use. But I would like to know, which of these features are you most excited about, and which of them did you see coming? I know like the sites kind of leaked, but I wasn't sure about it. But which one did you see coming? Let me know in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe to this channel if you want to know more about Figma and learn everything about it. I'll be making those amazing videos. Thanks for staying to the end of this. I've got to go back to some of the keynote, but I'll make sure I'll catch you in the next video, and take care of yourself. Peace.